What it is, YouTube? Is your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I want to do a video showing y'all how to mix. There's gonna be a whole series, a whole course just using OZONE plugins, a mixture of OZONE, a little UAD here, a little dash of pepper, a little seasoning there. So let's get to it right now. If y'all do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Suggest more video ideas. Want to support the channel? Check the links and let me know what you think. So let's get to it right now. Let's listen to the beat that I'm gonna be mixing. It's also gonna be stems and all that shit like that. So this is just the first episode, and y'all gonna see it in the description or the link, the pin link, the link for the rest of the videos in the playlist. All right, so let's get to it. So we starting out raw, you feel me, and raw vocal, raw everything. So we're gonna walk this through together, you feel me. So for me personally, it's kind of hard to mix and talk at the same time. I ain't gonna lie. So and still trying to make the video within not too long and dragging. So I went ahead and just mixed a little bit, and I'm gonna break down on my moves while the ideas are still fresh, hot off the pan, right off the grill in my head. So first thing that we have right here is gonna be the bass. And let's see what OZONE plugins we used. I think the OZONE selection is great because, when it comes to bass, you got this secret pull tech right here, which I love to use a lot. And it's called the OZONE Vintage Limiter. So it's modeling a pull tech. You got both the EQP1A and the MEQ1. I think it's called MEQ1, something like that. Yeah, the other one. So yeah, both of them right here are pretty good. And first thing I did on the 808 bass is I boosted 4 dBs, and understand this is a shelf. So this is so dope about this EQ too, because you actually get to visually see it. You see that hump day, you feel me, on top of the bass. Okay, so now you graphically get to see what the EQ is doing. So filling out that low one with that. And then the next plugin we have right here is a OZONE Exciter. A lot of times people might use this on their master fader, but I like to use this on my 808s too, because I get to generate some different tones. I use the tape saturation here, and I pushed it really hard. I like how this one is kind of like the drive, and this is like the parallel mix. So sometimes I might have it on 100 wet. I might have it on 100, 100 wet, and just play with it. But right here, I kind of drove the tape really hard and blended it. All right, so being intelligent, I already kind of noticed that this is like one of those Jetson made another one, the baby type of 808, so that's why I used that. Now let's actually bring in the kick, right? And this is where things get interesting. We had like a R bass, which is generating some harmonics on the back end, but the OZONE plugin we use right here, really dope, is just another exciter. So let's see what this parallel chain is doing in regards to kind of like filling out that bottom. All right, so on the actual kick itself, we used another pull tech, boosting that booty on that low end, you feel me, making the thighs thicker, the legs thicker, and pretty much with the OZONE, we're just filling out the body, the lower body, and we did 60 hertz. I like the 60 hertz frequency, especially on the kick, so that's that thump, versus where the 45 is just that oomph, you feel me, and everything lower is just, like that super sub that you can't really hear, all right, but you more like feel it. All right, so that's where we did, that's where a plugin like this is absolutely great. It's just like having a pull tech, but the advantage is you get the graphic display, okay? And also you can use it as a mid-side pull tech, which ain't no other pull tech gonna let you do that. Come on, bruh. I use the voice of God, Lil Lab voice of God, and that's just a resonant filter. So it's kind of like I'm boosting the low end and I'm really shaping it with the VOG. And then I use the DBX 160 on parallel mode because I know it's a snappy VCA compressor, and I love to use it a lot of times on my parallel kick. So I feel like with the OZONE plugins, a lot of times the IZOTOPE plugins, you're getting modern type of sounds, not on all of that analog gushiness and shit like that. Sometimes you want something that sounds direct, that sounds modern, that sounds like a brand new car that don't got the windows tinted. You can see right through it, that clarity in that fresh car glass. All right. So yeah, that's what this is doing. Let's bypass this in and out. All right, so now actually let's look at our snare. I feel like the snare is kind of harsh, so I use this great plugin, which is kind of like Soothe, but not really. It's more like if Soothe is a pool, I imagine this to be like a bath. You feel me? Where this is smaller and more focused. Both of them are still the same thing. They're both water, but this is just small focus, more like a sniper, like a laser pointer. This is a sniper, and Soothe is more like a shotgun that splashes a wide area of effect. But this right here, the spectral shaper, is a sniper, a smaller pistol, because it's just really narrow and it's really focused, right? And it gives you a single burst fire only right here, right? And yeah, it just kind of like deharshed my snare, and you have these 3 dope modes. It's a lot more simple to use than Soothe, and I like to use the light mode. You feel me? The ratio changes. You feel me? The harder it goes to 2 to 1 and 4 to 1. So I like this a lot. And I love the fact that this plugin provides the opportunity to, throw on the solo mode within the plugin and really hear what you're actually attenuating. We had some finger snaps right here. And of course, as I was mixing it, I'm not doing everything in order, but yeah, then I realized, okay, the snare is hitting hard, the kick's hitting hard. These finger snaps could be a little bit hard. So I used the Neutron Transient, and I love this plugin right here. It's a transient designer, better than the SPL. I would say it's good too over the spiff when you just need something quick and fast. The spiff is a little bit more complicated, but this is great because you have 3 transient modes: precise, balanced, and loose. And this is kind of like modifying the shape of the transient, the envelope of it. You feel me? Imagine it to be like pottery or Play-Doh when you was a kid in kindergarten, and now you're getting to really shape if you want this Play-Doh spoon to be sharp or to be round. Okay, so I use my attack right here because I want my spoon to be a little sharp, so I boost up the transients of these finger snaps. All right, so I wanted that to go with it. And then, of course, the same principle applied here to the hi-hat, but I didn't even boost the transients. I just actually made the hi-hats a little bit shorter. So this is more like a groove thing that, you have to use your ears to hear. The hi-hat sound a little too long. Imagine a lot of times when people are in the FL Studio, what they'll do is they'll use the in and the out knob. When you click the actual sound, it lets you do the fade in and the fade out. So that's kind of like affecting the length of it, or maybe sometimes lengthening or shortening and stretching the audio. So that's what I'm using right here. I'm using the sustain to make the hi-hats quicker. super subtle, but I just love how that sounded. Okay, then we have the open hi-hats with just de-essing them. I changed it to medium because the attack is just, it was really sharp and really nasty. So I feel like the medium was better because it's kind of like a thief in the night, and they kind of just snatched it and robbed it, you know, bucked it of its change. So then we have this dope sound right here, and I just threw on a Valhalla room. And sometimes I like to do this. If I have like a bongo or something like that, I kind of want to put it in a different space. So I'll just use like a quick room reverb just to give it a different type of ambience around, a different glow, you know? All right, so now on the actual melody, we have like this main melody loop right here. I didn't just cut off all the bottom, but I used the low shelf. As I'm using, like, I kind of soloed just this as well as like the low end elements, just to, and I pull my low shelf down because I'm just trying to diminish the low end. I'm not trying to take off all the low end on this loop because the low end of this loop, I actually like it. I want it to contribute, but I don't want it to like overwhelm it. So that's why I use just the low shelf right here. Imagine that I'm just scooping out how much I want out of the soup pot, you know, for New Year's Eve. You feel me? I'm taking a spoon, I'm getting to pick how much I want rather than to actually dump the whole bucket, which is like filtering. When you do a filter, you're just cutting off everything. The soup is gone once you dump it on the ground. But this is just like a spoon. I'm taking out how much I want. You feel me? So that's what I like about the low shelf. So kind of by me just cutting that out, it actually makes it feel more clear because now those two frequencies aren't fighting each other for that same super low end. You feel me? I don't need all that sub coming from, you know, the loop, which is like, I cut down everything like, you know, 200 and all that stuff like that. I don't need all that sub in that low mid to, you know, be there because my bass and my 808 is going to take it up. Then we have a right here, I use the widener just to make the loop a little bit widener, and I love using the Ozone imager all the time, bruh. Really dope. I have an ambient guitar and I widen that too. And you know, I'm working on these guitars right here. I added a little bit of reverb to both of them to make them feel ethereal. So rather than to put another widener on it, I just added a little bit of reverb, a little Spectre. But these are not Ozone plugins, and we're gonna go over that actually in the next video. But the last trick I want to show is how when I have my Ozone, rather than to let all the transients of my the beat hit the actual master bus, you know, which is like right here, my master bus right here, I put a limiter, I put a limiter in front of the whole beat. This is only when I have a full mix stem, and I love using the Ozone maximizer. I have options for upwards compressing. Maybe I want to clip my beat, get that yeet rage type of sound. I'm not looking for that here, but I just use the regular modern. I always use the modern setting, and I link them, and I just keep pushing it till I get about a dB or two, and this really like squeezes the whole beat. So I always love using that plugin because it kind of gives like a real dope excitement. So that's pretty much the end of the video here today. I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and support the channel down below by checking the links. Okay, and we're gonna come back with a part 2 next, showing how we mixed some of the other stuff in the mix, the vocals and the master. All right. So thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.